Hi everyone, how are you? So today it is a new session with a new lesson, but we will stay with sequences. So how to create a list? This is what we have seen in the two last sessions. But today we will see the second type of sequence, which is the tuples. So what is a tuple? A tuple, it is a very simple object in Python. So to create a tuple, it is very easy. It is just to use those round brackets and to add items to them. So, uh, why we use tuple instead of lists? So, um, if we want to make a differences between these two types, generally there is no much differences between the two. So the two are constructed in the same manner, and we can have index on them, we can make slicing on them, we can make the many operations on the two, but there is just one differences between the two, is that tuples are unchangeable and ordered sequences. What that means? That means that ordered, that each element in a tuple has an order, and the second, it is unchangeable, which means once the tuple has created, we cannot change its elements, we cannot add elements, and we cannot remove any element of this tuple. This is the big differences between these two objects and the two sequences in Python. So we'll see some examples. For example, if we want to create a tuple, of course we can do this with the round brackets, for example with integers. So it is the same thing as in list. So we can uh, print this tuple without any problem. So as you see, and we can also add strings. So banana, no problem. We can also add boolean values, no problem. So all these are accepted just like lists. So it is they are accepted in tuples. Good. We can also just indicate the elements that we want to print by indexations. We can also make some slicing, for example. So we can do this, and of course we can do all what we have seen in the last session on the tuples, on the lists. Good. But of course, as I said, we cannot write, for example, we cannot change any elements. For example, if we try to change the second element, for example, by this number, there is an error. So here they write type error, tuple does not support item assignment. So we cannot change the second element. So this writing is this one. It is typically wrong. So we cannot write this. So we cannot move or remove anything from this tuple. For example, if we try to write this, so there is another problem. So tuple object does not support item deletion. So it is impossible. Good. Uh, there is another example. What if we have just if we have a tuple that just have one item, for example? So can we just write it like that? So if we try to print it, so T0, so we have 7, but the 7 it is not a tuple. So if we try to see the type of this object, it is integer. It is an integer. It is not a tuple. But if we want it to be a tuple, what can we do? It just we have just to add a comma here. So now it is a tuple, and we can say it. So it is here. So I will delete this type. So if we print T0, it is now a tuple with the round bracket and with this little comma in or beside the number 7. Good. So this is how we use this type of sequence. So tuple, it is as just like I said, it is a ordered and unchangeable sequence. What I mean by ordered, that means that each element has an order, and because each element has an order, so we can repeat them. So here, for example, if I write 7 many times, it is no problem. So because if I make here some slicing, there will be no problem. So if I choose from the second or from the second element to the last one, we will have this here, because each element here has an order. So this is what it takes. So as I have said, tuples are sequences in which are a collection of elements of ordered and unchangeable elements. So this is how we use those sequences in Python. So this is what we have for today. Thank you, and see you in the next session. Bye bye.